Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of G&A Podcast. I am your host, Doobie-Doo, along with...
Sobroni.
And today we are finishing up the winter lineup and we're jumping straight into spring.
No breaks on this train.
Yep. I mean, of course, I wish the weather outside could reflect the lineup, but no, we're still surrounded by cold and the occasional snow, and it's like April. But you know what? Maybe this next episode will warm you up. You can feel all the good inside. Violet Evergarden, the last episode 13.
This episode. It wasn't as depressing or... Well, I think it was a nice way to wrap up the series. It was a very nice way.
No, yeah, yes. It was just so, like... It gave me so much hope, and it's like I really feel like it was just such a pleasure watching her like grow. Like,
it was. Oh my god! Compared to like the very first episode, you can see visibly how much she's changed, and it's so incredible.
It is, and it just felt so good and natural and not rushed, and
the pacing was really on point. Nothing felt out of the ordinary,
despite someone saying the contrary in the beginning. Oh my god!
Well, I did have to also say when we finished the whole Gilbert arc that if Gilbert's brother shows up, it'll be back on track, and he did, so it was back on track. So I'm glad they wrapped it up with him.
Yeah, I'm glad they ended the whole thing with the Mission Impossible, like, bomb squad.
Yeah. This episode had everything. It had the bomb squad, Mission Impossible action. It had the drama. It had the happiness.
Yeah. It had the nostalgia and the tears, and oh my god. I definitely, like, shed a few, like, at the end, because I'm just like...
It didn't get me that bad. I cried or anything, but I think it was. I
think it made me cry. I think I started to tear up when she turned around when he was like, "These are your orders, like live," and she's like, "I no longer need orders," and I'm like,
"Oh, you've grown."
That's right, bitch. You don't need
It's funny because that pretty much that sums up everything about the show. It's like I saw that coming, that moment coming from a mile away, but at the same time it's like, oh, it's still so good.
Powerful.
Yeah, so well executed, so well done, so amazing. I love Violet Evergarden. I'm so glad we watched this show.
I was like, oh my god, this looks so pretty. I want to watch it.
Yo, can we talk about how, first off, it's amazingly beautiful to look at. The music is pretty. Fantastic. The plot is great. Like, there's like nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I really don't know what else to say. It was
just fantastic to watch. I do have a question though. Is the redhead dude at the end that having a kid? Is he having a kid with the other woman? Or is that
okay? So I was like, wait, is it really implying like he knocked her up?
Yeah, I'm like,
that just me?
No, I think that's what it was implying because I had to rewatch that scene a couple times. I'm like, I'm thinking she's pregnant with his kid.
Yeah, especially because she's like the one like reading it and everything.
She's the one who found it, so
yeah.
It implies that she. All right, so cool, which is fine because that's kind of like a storyline that is told through indirect storytelling, where it's like we always knew there was something going on between those two without ever having to have like a whole episode screaming about it. Yeah. So that was a nice little touch.
Just it's such a beautiful, wonderful uses of all the flashbacks. Like, you remember how we were like, oh, they kind of like blew their load by doing that whole thing before.
Oh yeah. Like episode 9
and they didn't, and instead they like showed all the places that she visited, like, but they were all empty.
That was good. Oh, so good. So I'm like, we can just sit here for like 10 minutes talk about how great the show is, but let's just give it our final ratings.
I'm going to give it like Oh God. I don't know what to give it. I actually don't know what to give it. I was thinking about it literally since I finished watching the episode about the score. Like, it keeps going on and on. Like, keeps coming and going in my head. It's always like the good ones where I think that are hardest for me to score.
Yeah, it's way harder to score this than it is to score like fucking
Shitty
Osama
ones.
game.
Or Fate Extra, but let's see. Like, I actually have to go through my notes. I'll give it a 9.5.
Damn it, that's what I was gonna give it.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Because you thought I was gonna give it a fucking 10. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
I was like, Andrew's gonna give it a 10.
No, I'm giving it a 9.5.
I'm also giving it a 9.5. Why are you giving it a 9.5?
I'm giving it a 9.5 because, like, there was this one episode that I just, like, it wasn't the best thing on earth, but, like,
This is
like
the one with the shooting star.
gave, huh?
The one with the shooting star.
Kind of, like half of that episode wasn't great. Like, she said some really awesome, amazing, powerful shit at the end, but yeah, like, that wasn't like a huge thing. And I think like the earlier episodes, they're cool and stuff.
Well, the second half is definitely a lot better than the first half, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that. I'd say 2/3, like, starting from the end and going back, 2/3 of it was like amazing. Like, literally from like episode, I think episode 4 when she takes what's her face,
The
dark
princess?
skinned woman.
Oh, to
Who
her
works with
family's
her.
house or whatever.
Exactly. From there, it just picked up and just.
Well, even before that, I still like the whole episode with the
Oh no!
with the drunk guy, the drunk brother.
Yeah, that was actually really good too.
the problem of finding problems with a really fucking great show.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm giving it a 9.5 because I think that in general, like, it was perfect, but it didn't really do anything outside of its standard. Like, it was a great drama and it had great action and comedy, but it didn't really do anything revolutionary or outside the box. So I didn't see it taking many chances. So I'm glad it was perfect within its box, but I would have given an extra point if it had just moved outside its safe zone.
I know. I see. I feel like if it would have done that, you would have liked it.
If it did it well, I would have liked it.
Yeah, like you can't, like you can't. I don't know. I feel like you can't go out of the box and then be like, oh, but this is also perfection. I feel like you have to have one or the other.
I don't know. It depends.
Very rare that anime are able to do that.
Yeah, and the ones that do it get the 10s. Get the 10s, baby.
We've never given anything a 10. This was very close.
It was
so close.
This
to
is the
getting a 10.
closest thing to a 10 I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will be dearly missed. Funny enough, when I was at work today, my friend was like, I don't know, we were just talking about anime for some reason, even though he doesn't watch anime. He's like, what should I watch? What's on Netflix? I was like, Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden just got on Netflix. Tell everyone you know, whoever asks you for any anime recommendation, go to Netflix and watch Violet Evergarden. That's it.
Yes, and if you yourself haven't watched Violet Evergarden, what the fuck are you doing? Get some fucking class and watch this great fucking anime.
Yes.
I don't care if you're into fucking Naruto and Bleach and all of the cards. Oh, sorry, all those other anime. I was gonna say all those cards. I don't know why I said cards. All the other anime that aren't even any somewhat thought-provoking, but...
Jeez, you always take every opportunity to bash shonen lovers out there.
I mean, it really isn't. Like, I'm not wrong. Great fights, but
well, I will be fair. Violet Evergarden's fights are like
20
times
and they had
better
great
animated.
fights too.
God, this
There
show's
you
so
go.
beautiful. Anyway, let's move on before this becomes the Violet Evergarden podcast. I'm gonna miss that show.
All right.
Next up, we have Overlord episode 13. Well, Overlord season 2, episode 13, the final episode. And another, I think this one was, it was decent. It wasn't anything.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm slightly disappointed.
I am too. It was decent for a final episode, but I think like I was comparing this one to the last 2 episodes of the first season where he had to fight Shoutier, and the fight in there was so much better, and it was so much more on the line than this one. It just felt like, bleh.
Yeah, because it was all safe. Like
everything was staged. Like, all right,
exactly.
Don't do your final fight make it a staged fight where there's no risk or anything. Yeah, there's nothing on the line. So it made it very boring. I mean, at one point, didn't what's her name, the maid, just hide away with the other maids and they just start chit chatting?
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah,
Nabe.
Oh, they're really fighting, huh?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Evil Eye's over there getting her ass
They're like
kicked.
fighting for her life. Like, oh god, I'm dying.
Well, my favorite part was Brain fighting Shoutier, and he cuts her fingernail,
and he literally loses his mind.
I did, yes. Seeing him happy made me happy. I'm like, damn, I've never seen somebody so happy before. It's like you see like a kid gets like a C- on a test, and he's like, I passed. Yes.
Fuck yes.
I did it. And you can't help but feel happy.
I chipped her fucking finger now. But yeah.
Evil Eye was cute.
Yeah, she was. Lots of Evil Eye being cute. Let's see. I had an important thing to say about like one other thing about the fighting that I wasn't a huge fan of. I don't know. I forget what it was, but excuse me. Oh, right. I was gonna say this. I feel like this was should have been 24 episodes. This was 24 episodes. I would enjoy the direction that they're going.
I kind of agree with you, but I also feel like because we got the announcement for season 3 in July, that this is kind of like 24 episodes, but just split into 2 different seasons.
But we're judging both seasons separately. So,
yeah, true enough.
And
and I have a feeling like this is not gonna, like, the next season's not gonna be a direct continuation of, well, maybe it will, but
I can't imagine it. I would understand why.
Yeah, this arc could have been longer. Like, this arc needed to be.
Yeah, it needed to be a
lot
arc.
Longer. We spent too much time on the lizard.
First of all, we didn't. Secondly, I fucking love the lizard arc. Secondly, I think they spent a little bit too time on Sebas, even though he's the best character ever. But they still spent too much time on him.
No, there's no such thing as spending too much time on
Sebas. On him and his romance with the maid, even though it's still...
yeah, that's my other contention. I know that I think this also happens in the novel. It's not like she's an anime original character or anything, but she kind of feels like it. I don't care about her at all. She feels kind of forced in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
She's literally just love interest for Sebas.
Yeah, I don't get her point of existence.
She
feels like a plot device that was just there to justify
that's literally all she is. That's literally it. I can't kind of try to save you guys, Overlord. I can't save y'all.
Yeah.
Like,
if you remove
only has
her,
a point.
none of this happens, and it's just like a regular run-of-the-mill story with nothing happening. So I just feel like she was pretty much just a plot device to start shit.
Yeah.
Which I feel like in Overlord of all things, you don't need. There's enough shit going on.
Yeah,
like you don't need a plot device.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need. Sebas doesn't even need a love interest. Like, why?
I don't know. They could have developed this character enough without her. And if you are gonna put her in there, I mean, give her more to do. Like, give her more of a presence and make her like a focal point of something. Like, she was literally just a damsel in distress for the whole appearance of which I don't usually have problems with, but in a show this plot-driven and technical, I feel like more could have been done with that.
Yeah.
Than just having this bland character that's just there for the purpose of driving save ass.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Not really. Overall, I think this season was...
Wait, what?
Shout
out to Garagan and Tia coming back to life.
Oh, yeah.
Happy that they're alive.
Yes.
Also, I like that, Ainz is also, like, subjugated the 8 fingers. It's like he's kind of, like, trying to control things from both sides, which is...
Yeah. Well, he's
cool.
That's awesome. That's the other reason I really like the show, is just because it's just as much about like politics as it is about fighting, which was it reminds me of Code Geass in that way. Like, yeah, you can win all the fights you want, but also you need to control them, like control your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but as you were saying,
overall, I think this season. It's weird because it does some things I think the series needed as a whole, and it does some things better than season 1. Like, I think the characterization was better for a lot of the characters. I think that we got a lot of world building we didn't have in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of overall enjoyment, I think it sacrificed a lot of the action and fun of the series. So I kind of see this as like a necessary evil. Like, all right, this season is not as fun and engaging, but now you understand a lot more about the characters and the motivations and the world around them. So
yeah,
maybe now next season will be even more engaging and interesting because of this one.
Mm-hmm. And your score?
I would, for reference, give the first season a 9, and this one I'd give an 8.
Wow.
I really love Overlord.
Wow, you really do, because I still gave this a 7.
Wow. I was going to do that. I was going to give it a 7.5, but...
No, I give it a 7. Like, the feeling of incompleteness really, like, bothered me. Like, a lot. Like, a lot. Like, yes, it's the 3rd season of Overlord's coming out. That's great and all, but I feel like there should not have been a 3rd season. It should have been a continuation of this.
Maybe you're right. Cause
that's why it's...
My score is heavily biased. My score is based on the fact that of that mentality I just said. Like, I think that this was necessary on its own. If without the context of this being in between 2 Overlord seasons, I'd probably give it a 7 or 7.5. But with the context in my mind that this was necessary for the series as a whole, I gave it an 8.
Listen, I just compare it to any great anime. Like, for example, Code Geass, every episode is necessary, and every episode is fucking great. even the filler. Like, was the cat episode running around with a mask not, like, kind of great?
It was.
Okay,
it was fucking great.
Exactly.
I still remember the scene where Cece fell into the pizza. That was fucking
Code Geass is such a great anime.
Can't wait for R3. Anyway.
Okay, but speaking of things that came back or coming back, let's get back to my episode of the week, Card Captor Sakura, episode 13.
Oh, yeah. Was it 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is episode 13. Okay, this is my episode of the week because it's a new May, it's a new me, and this new me likes the new May.
Apologize to May.
No, absolutely not. Because this is a new May. This May doesn't exist. I'm like, I don't know. It's like the people heard all the cries of everyone who shits on May, and it's like, okay, we're gonna take all the toxic, unnecessary bitch parts about her that literally made her the worst thing ever, and we're just gonna make her cool. I'm like, I don't know who this May is at all. I don't know who she is, but I like her. This is not the May from season 1 that I remember.
Is it bad that I'm kind of like... I don't know how to feel about her because I'm like, man, they toned her down way too much. I kind of want her to be more aggressive and abusive towards Sakura now.
Exactly. See.
I mean, she's still great. I still love her.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's still great. She still has a decent amount of spunk and... Like, yeah, they made her like spunky and cool, not like a super mega bitch for no reason. You know, oh no, you can't have my cousin. I'm gonna marry my cousin because that's not fucking incest. Like, we have enough incest in this fucking anime. We don't need any more. And then of course I knew this was like destined to be great when the first words out of her mouth was Yahoo.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my
Rin,
god.
is that you?
Rin? Rin is Sakura's cousin confirmed. Oh god.
Yeah,
But yeah.
was great. And was this the only episode without a card in it?
Yes. I actually like that. I didn't mind that there was no card in it because it definitely set it up. It's definitely doing a setup for next episode.
We're gonna get a cosplay card or something.
Cosplay card.
Please.
Oh, the girls are just gonna have cat ears.
Yeah, this is purely the fan service card. They're just gonna use it to give Sakura fucking cat ears in the tail.
Yeah. Oh, apparently, even though there was no cards, there was a decent amount of plot. Like May coming back to stay. Toya was like, "Oh, I have a new power." I totally forgot everything about Toya's abilities.
So I forgot that he knew that Yuki was powered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh shit!" Oh wait, no, he's not reacting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he already knew that. And I knew he was involved in magic, I just forgot. And I forgot specifically what. But now they reminded us. He is apparently able to maintain Yuki's form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny how, like, if you have good storytelling, you don't necessarily need a giant-ass recap episode to get people to remember what the fuck's going on and waste an entire episode on a recap.
Yeah.
It's kind of... We'll come full circle to that theory later on, but continue.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, I love how Toya is like, oh yeah, once again, Sakura's alone with essentially a stranger from China. And, like, yeah, it's her friend, but it's like the dad, like, who's never met her.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, stranger, yeah, you can stay in the house with my daughter.
Feel free.
Guys, you two being 9-year-old girls can just stay by yourself.
I swear, it's like is the legal age of adulthood in Japan like 7?
And then they're like, and then Yuki's like, oh, it's so great that you guys all trust each other. I'm like,
trust each other a bit too much, guys.
Yeah, there's trust, and then there's just like, you know,
being irresponsible and negligent.
Exactly. Thin line between trust and negligence, guys.
Leave my baby in the kitchen with like a bunch of sharp knives. I trust you. I trust you not to kill yourself.
I like the new cooking segment. How they
Oh, this show is half cooking. I just came to that realization. This is fucking half of it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I was like, this is like fucking Cooking Mama or some shit.
Yeah, we need to add that tag to the genres on any chart. Also cooking.
Also cooking. Is there a cooking? Like, is that a cooking category?
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I think the cooking category is just sports.
Yeah, right. I assume they just put it under sports. Because they're like, I don't know.
Because cooking's a sport.
Sure. Let's see. Oh, and then we learn how, like, you know, a huge hint how Akiho is, like, you know, causing all this shit to happen. She's literally just, like, reading stories from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, I think so. Also, the ending spoiled a bunch of shit, but I don't know if you saw it. If you sat through the ending animation.
Like, just, like, the ending? What do you mean? You mean just, like, the normal anime, like,
the credits,
normal ending credits?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it did. It kind of spoiled it. And it was so cute. I loved the ending.
I loved it, too. I can't wait for the bunny.
Yeah, right? Why are you always holding alcohol in your...
I can relate to this bunny.
You're a fucking bunny, rabbit. Why do you feel the need to get drunk? That is problematic.
hope he's a positive influence on Sakura and what's her name, Akio.
Oh god, yep. They're just the next episode. They're all three of them are just home alone with Sakura. Dad's gone, and they're let's try wine.
Sakura
let's try
wine
sake.
tasting.
Oh my god. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. This is card captors.
But I really like this episode. I'm glad it did a good job of bringing Mei Ling back, and we got to see Sakura, and it was cute and fun, fluffy. They didn't feel the need to force a card fight in the last 2 minutes of the show. We'll save it.
I prefer that they didn't.
Yeah, me too.
Actually.
I was kind of cute at the end where she's like, Sakura's just leaning over looking at
yeah, she's like, are you a cat?
I thought she was going to reach out and just take her wand and be like, secure.
Secure, that's the end of the episode. Secure. And then May's like, what happened? Oh, nothing. Going to sleep. Bye. Also, Lee, like, what? Am I the one who didn't get, like, when Lee was saying diet? Like, I didn't get that diet. Either. And they're like, whoa, why are you saying diet, Lee? And I'm like, wait, is there a reason? Like, diet? Is it funny because it's, like, the government in Japan?
I don't know.
Like,
I think you're overthinking it. I don't know. I didn't get either. I thought it was going to be a fat joke or something.
Yeah, right? Like, that was really weird. And then Sakura also said something, which they commented about. I forget what the word was.
Yeah, that was a weird scene.
It sounds like you're saying, like, sheep, or you're trying to say something that is fluffy.
Sure. Whatever, Japan.
Yeah, right?
That was lost in localization.
It's okay. The rest of it was great.
Yes.
Which is why it was my episode of the week.
All right. Is there anything else from this winter season that we didn't?
No, I think that's it.
Oh, no. There's
one show. Fuck. God, no. Oh.
So, Fate Extra, last Encore, episode 10.
I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know what happened either. I don't want to spend too much time on this, only because we're just going to rehash the same thing we've said over and over and over again. But this episode made no fucking sense.
Yep.
It's trying to do too many things at once, like, and just doing nothing. This is not an adaptation as far as I'm concerned. This is just like a insanity plea. Although I did like Rin and Ronnie parts though.
Yeah, I bet you did. It's a very pretty version of Osama game at this point.
Yeah, it's a very pretty to look at train wreck. It's like the most beautiful fucking train wreck I've ever seen in my life.
It truly is.
The one of the things I do want to mention is usually when in the limited amount of writing classes I've had, they taught me when I'm writing, if you have more than one sentence that starts with "but actually," then you're fucked. Don't ever put more than one twist in a story. So, for example, in this episode, you had the team gets into the elevator looking for the floor master, but actually it's Rin. But actually it's Ronnie. But actually it's both. But actually the real Rin is there. But actually she's dead. But actually, no. Now it just gets too fucking... If the episode was just Rin turned out to be the floor master and now they have to fight Rin, it would have made a lot more sense. And it would have been...
Okay, it would have made a lot more sense for some people.
Well, it would have made a lot more sense, assuming that the rest of the series followed the same logic of one twist per episode or some shit. So, anyway, too many fucking twists. It makes it too difficult to be consistent or do anything.
Like I said, also what I said from last episode, it's just not good because there's no baseline. Like, I didn't know what the normal was. Everything was an exception. Like you said, it was always a twist. Everything was different from the way it's supposed to be, which literally everything. I think the only thing that was consistent from the last time was literally just Nero.
Yeah. There's no rules to this game, this Grail War. There's just literally, like you said, every floor there's some new fucking exception. every single time there's like something new popping up. And they always comment on it, like, oh, but there's only one floor master. Oh, now there's two. Oh, but these floor masters aren't actually the floor masters, and blah, 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 blah. No, it's stupid.
Yeah, I think the only time there was, like, an actual legit floor master was Shinji.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
That was it.
Yeah. It was dumb. It's really... And I think up until Nursery Rhymes arc, you can kind of give it the pass, because it's like, well, it's nicely stylized and whatever. It kind of has something going for it. But... after the Nursery Rhyme stuff, and I think Nursery Rhyme is when it started happening, the show just like completely lost any sense of mystery or any. It just became a train wreck. It transitioned straight into train wreck territory. Nothing makes sense. It's all just gobbledygook.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give my score. I actually don't want to talk about this anymore because we have actually better anime to talk about.
Yeah, even
my
though there's
score
3
is a
episodes left.
4.
Continue.
My what?
There's 3 episodes left, but they're like
Wait,
OVAs
what?
and stuff, so don't worry about it.
Okay, so yeah, no. I figured they were going to be OVAs because they ended it to, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like, that's a Shaft thing to do. They just release the rest in OVAs. But, yeah, I give it a 4.
I'm going to be right there with you. I'm giving it a 4. I already decided that when I finished the episode. I'm like, this is getting a 4. And that does sound harsh, but...
does it really?
It's like...
Does it really? Is it really harsh? Like, I feel like this whole anime from the beginning just cucked everybody.
This is the hardest cucking I've ever got. So, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, Pietra is literally just a giant cuck for everyone. I feel bad for people who are actual fans of this anime.
I think this is the worst example. Even if, like, the Unlimited Blade Works movie, I would give a higher rating than this. And the movie was a train wreck. And this is by far the worst, I think, Fate anime adaptation. Worse than Dean, for me. Worse than Apocrypha. So, yeah. What about you? You still think Dean is worse than this? Really? At least you can follow the plot.
I know. Yeah. I guess one was just really lackluster in my mind, and then this one is just like whatever.
Fate Stay Night, I would at least give like a 6 to or something.
Yeah, no, I'd rate it higher than this. You're right. I'm literally just thinking of like people dying when they are killed. Like that's the only quite I can think of when I think of that show.
But yeah, sorry, this was a huge disappointment. Coming from a huge Fate Extra fan, coming from a huge Nero fan. Just pretend it didn't happen. Go play Extra. Go play the game. Go download an emulator and play Fate Extra. It's really fun. It's much more enjoyable. And then go play Fate Extella. It won't make much sense, but it makes a hell of a lot more sense in this game. I mean, in this show.
Yes. And while you do that, we are going to move on to finally the spring lineup.
Yep, spring is
sweep
here.
away all that crap and move on to our first anime of the spring lineup, Hero Academia, Season 3, Episode 1. So this episode was literally just an episode of Free.
It was
plus a recap.
Yeah, it was a Free plus a recap, which this episode annoyed me because I can't, like, all right, so I don't mind that it's a recap, even though I threw a lot of shit at it just now when I was talking about Sakura. But
yeah,
because it's the first episode, it's like kind of like, all right, fine. Even though I would have preferred if this was like an episode 0, like episode 0 is the recap, because I don't want precious, episode time being wasted.
Yeah,
by
I'm surprised they used episode 1 for a recap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
But then on top of that, what angers me is when it's like, if it's just a recap, fine, then I'll just skip the episode. But no, it's not just that. They have to insert, like, it's a filler recap. So you have to watch the filler parts of it, and then watch the recap parts. It's so stupid. Either you're making a recap, make it a recap. If you're making it a filler, make it a filler. I don't want a hybrid filler recap. Those are the 2 worst things you could put together in a show.
Like I don't think you have to watch it because it's a filler. Like the whole point.
And if you are going to do the filler, then you know what? Focus on both women and men.
I don't know about you. I'm just glad I got some free fan service.
Yes. This was purely... I think there was like one shot of the girls in a bikini in what's his name's mind. And outside of that, which is probably going to be let's be honest, that's going to be the thumbnail for this podcast episode, because but everything else was just the guys being half naked.
Like, I'm fine with that. Every once in a while, I'm okay with that.
Fair enough. We better get another fan service filler episode with the girls. The next recap episode, because I'm sure there's going to be another one, like, around episode 13 or 14 or halfway through. Better be all the girls.
It will be, but it won't be a summer episode, so.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Also, why did Aizawa look like Vegeta? Or did he always look like
He always looked like that.
His hair always just up like a Super Saiyan? Like, I don't think...
Well, it is when he's using his powers.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was like, wait, why does he look like that? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Yep. Alright, so let's move on to...
Persona 5.
Persona 5. Episode 1. Is this my episode of the week? I think it is. I think this is my episode of the week. Yeah, this is my episode of the week.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying this was bad by anything. It's just like I know what's happened. Like it just felt like one giant long cutscene.
Well, that's all right. This whole show.
And that's what makes it, I know that's what makes it good. That's what makes it good. Because the animation was so, like, spot on. It's just, like, I don't know, in my mind, it's what I expect of a Persona anime.
Maybe
like,
it's because I'm coming fresh off of and I literally had just finished watching Fate Extra when I watched Persona 5. But to see something that's actually an adaptation on screen work like an adaptation, I was like, oh my god, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Because they actually put the music from the fucking game into the show. They had all the nice sound effects. They had all the nice little visual effects. Like, even the parts where they're like, he's going to different locations. You see the like map, like Shinjuku to move to Shibuya and all that stuff. That was a really nice touch.
And I'm not saying you're wrong about any of that. Just for me personally, I'll tell you now, I'm gonna be a little bit more harsh on this anime.
Why?
Because it's what I expect.
Well, that's the thing. They did, like, all right, so I think, all right, so
it's what happened in Persona 4. Like they did it the same way. Like it's like when you have such great animation to use as a guide map and so many good things. Like it's like you already have the keys. Like just don't fuck it up. They literally told the story for you. You have the story, you have the animation, you have the music. Like what? Like how can you actually?
But then here's the thing: if they deviate, I'm sure you're gonna get pissed. If suddenly something changes,
if they deviate, then I'll be pissed, and then this anime will probably.
I'm fine with a straightforward adaptation because if the source material is really good, I want a source material adaptation, even if it's just like a straight up by the books. We're just ripping cutscenes from the fucking game. Fine, whatever. Give it its visual flair and put it on the screen and make it a coherent story. Don't do like Fate Extra, and we're good. I like that it didn't censor anything. I think Persona 4 did that a bit, but in this one we get to see like that scene where he rips off the mask from his face. Yeah, we were watching it in the chat, and then Rockstar was like, I think it was Rockstar. It was somebody in chat saying moist. And yeah, that was like perfect description of what happened. Like the visceralness of him just ripping off, then you hear it like tearing off his skin and the blood coming out. And it was like, sent shivers down my spine. So I'm glad they didn't censor it or, diminish it in any way. I'm just happy it's a straight up adaptation. Listen, can I please be happy?
I'm like, do you need a minute?
It was great. It was a great scene.
I can leave. It was a great we can record a little bit later.
It was a great scene. I'm glad we're getting a straight adaptation of it.
I appreciate the Easter eggs of Persona 4.
Oh yeah, the Risei poster.
The Risei poster. If you look back in the Risei poster. If you look back, you see, like, an outline of, like, Chie. I think she's, like, eating something. Like, you don't see her face. But it looks like the person they're, like, dressed like Chie.
Nice. I gotta go back and watch it.
So, yeah. I was looking for that. I was like, oh, my God, I must look for it. Because it's like, what else am I going to do? Like, watch for the plot that I already know?
Yes. So, this is probably going to be a point of contention series between the two of us going forward.
It's not that I don't like it. I do. It's just like this is what I expect.
I expect perfection. Anything short of it is failure.
kind of. Like it's only because it's already like, oh, this is already a great, fantastic game that's been widely acclaimed by like literally everyone and their mother.
You mean like Fate Extra?
Not as popular.
Yeah, nowhere near that.
Not nowhere near as popular. Nowhere near as popular.
Still, though, I've seen adaptations fucked up too many times to be like, I expect this to be a good adaptation. Umineko, anyone?
Okay, but that was not fair. That's not fair because that's a visual novel, and so much of that you can only put so much great writing in 24 episodes.
Well, yeah, the episode
like in real life, if it was like a correct adaptation, chapters or games 1 through 4 would have been like actually 50 episodes.
Yeah, so 1 through 2, like games 1 and 2 would have been perfect for 24 episodes, and then 3 and 4 for another 24 episodes.
Exactly. So that couldn't have been helped, but this anime is gonna be fine with 24 episodes and yada yada yada.
Yep.
And all that jazz.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So.
It's just a video game.
Next up, we have. Was it Hinamatsuri?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, Hinamatsuri.
This is almost my episode of the week.
I knew you were gonna like it. Yeah, this was also a really fucking great episode.
Oh my god. It was so just. It's like, imagine the comedy of Maid Dragon, Kobayashi no Maid Dragon, but like with borderline like JoJo animation.
I loved the yeah, it is kind of the main character reminds me of a lot of Kobayashi from Maid Dragon, actually, now that you mention it. They're very similar.
And just like when they have those funny moments, they just like have like the JoJo face, like and it works so well. Like the first line, "Watashi no smartphone." Like I was like, I'm sold.
No, I was sold the moment that the Hina drops out in the egg and then hits him on the head, and he looks at it and he's like, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see this and just go to sleep.
And just walks away.
Like totally would have done the same thing. So that was great. All the little comedy bits were good. Hina throwing people out the fucking windows.
Just throwing everyone out the fucking windows. Oh my god. And in the end, oh my god, the end of funny when they're eating and then she's like, I'm finding a woman, and he's like, say what you got. Like,
even the small things like those, where she's drinking the green tea and he's like, oh, this is the finest green tea, and the guy's like, it's from the 100 yen store.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so it was fun. It was such a fun. I feel like this is gonna be the equivalent of like what was that, Blend S type of show, like the show that's just fun every week to watch.
Yeah.
It was just quirky and funny. The endings, did you see past the credits?
Oh god. That's crazy. Oh yeah, this show does not really pull its punches.
No, it's a fun show. If you guys want a fun kind of hyper show to watch, then I recommend watching at least the first episode of this. It was really fun.
It was. Oh my god, it was yeah, it was kind of perfect.
Looking forward. Also, the fight in the beginning was well animated, considering this is. I don't really think this is.
Yes,
an action show.
yes, I know. Brilliant animation. I wrote that down actually.
Very nicely animated.
I know, for like a fight scene, even though like nothing else. I think that all the actiony scenes or shit happens is actually well done. Like everything was getting thrown out the windows and shit. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm specifically looking forward to.
Me too. This is gonna be a fun show for a season to go through.
Yes, it is indeedies. But with that, I think we are done for today, tonight, whatever part of the day you're having. If you enjoyed it, by all means, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our Twitter. Check out our Discord. It's diggity dope. If you want to go the extra mile, you can sign up and become a Patreon like all these other cool-ass motherfuckers right here.
Yep. Be part of the Cool Kids Club.
Yep, and don't forget, we also have, Twitch. It's just Twitch, but it's Twitch nonetheless.
Just Twitch.
I always forget something, and you always add it, Oni. So.
I think you got it all. I just want to say, if you guys haven't decided what you want to watch this season, or if you're kind of, it's still early in the season, not everything's aired yet, go check out our Spring Anime 2018 preview guide. We go over all the shows airing this season, so maybe you guys can see something you might be interested in that you didn't know was airing this season.
You see, guys? And that's exactly why I always have Oni as backup. He always adds the shit that I forget.
Shout
out to Oni. All right, guys. I think with that, we are going to end it here. And yeah. Any last words to say? Anything else I forgot?
Nope, you got it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sober Oni and...
Sober Oni. 2 Sober Onis.
Oh, yeah. No, we're just both Sober Onis. And this has been the G&A podcast. And yeah, tune in for next time, guys.
Later.
Bye.